I'm just going back. Hey, is this okay? I'll put it right here. Okay? Yeah, just watch it. No, no, only one. Come here. I use the bathroom real quick. Watch it.
illustration. A funny thing happened on my way to work this morning. So I got up, it was like 3:54, I woke up this morning. And I was thinking, I could sit around the house or I could come to work. So I started packing my stuff, and I packed an extra suit, put it in my car, and I got another pair of shoes. And I thought I put them in my car, but I put them on the roof of my car. So I'm driving down, it's pitch black, it's like 5:30 in the morning by the time I'm on my way to work, and it's pitch black, and I make this left turn, and pretty soon I hear this thump thump across my roof, What was that? And I remembered it was my shoes, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and there were my brand new shoes that I bought last week at Nordstrom, sitting in the middle of the road. So I was saying, okay, do I make a U-turn and try and save them before somebody runs over them? And I did, and thankfully nobody ran over them. So I know I'm going to have a great day today because nobody ran over them. So we're excited today because we're going to talk about the future. And I'm excited because I get to share the stage with two people who I've only met through social media. My only association with Hazel and Emma has been through Periscope or FaceTime or their Facebook pages. I've watched everything they do. There's nothing private. So we have a great opportunity today not only to talk about the future, but how to take advantage of the future. Now I was thinking, what can I share that would help you understand where we're at today? So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the evolution of Nu Skin, because my employee badge, just so you know, is employee number 20. That means there are 19 employees that still work for Nu Skin who are ahead of me. And I'm the only one of those 19 that spends 90% of his time out in the field for almost 29 years. So I have a little bit of a different perspective than some of the people, because those other 19 are cutting checks, they work in commissions, or they work out at the warehouse. And I've had the absolute most amazing blessing in my life to be associated with amazing people and to be able to see what you do on a daily basis. So let's just recognize that today is just one of those special days. Today is one of those days that you can be absolutely assured that you're going to understand the future. There are moments in time, I call them defining moments, when we can say we were there at that moment. And you're going to be grateful that you were here today. And those of you that are watching us live online, you're going to be grateful that you were able to watch us and hear what is really happening here. So let me just talk a little bit about the evolution of Nu Skin. So when I began my journey, I was employee number 47. And I started in this building, the second one over on your left. That was where I started. I had a little red couch in the corner. We had one computer for the whole company. Really, one computer for the whole company in 1988. And you can see the company's evolved over the years. That we built the tower that my office is in 1992. I moved in May of 1992. And then, as you know, last year, or 2 years ago, we inaugurated the Innovation Center, which has been a huge addition to the Nu Skin evolution. So I thought I'd just kind of be able to show you a little fun evolution here on my part. So just so you can see, I've had a little bit of an evolution over the years. I know, oh my gosh. So you need to remember, okay, I had a mustache in the 1980s when everybody had a mustache. So Jeff and Melka did me a favor, and that I'm still current. You know? Me and Geraldo Rivera. But it's just an interesting thing to watch how our business has evolved. So you go back to 1984 when the company got started. And you'll see in this video, in this picture, there's Blake Roney, along with other distributors, doing the facelift lift and activator. This was what I call the belly-to-belly phase of the business. This is when the only way the business worked was if you were in front of somebody. There were, cell phones existed, but they didn't exist for the masses. I have one in my car because I bought an old car from Blake's brother, because that was how I got my cars in the early days. Whenever they had cast-offs, I'd get whatever they wanted to cast off, and I'd buy it, and it happened to have a brick in it, and that was called a cell phone. But back in those days, the only way the business worked was belly to belly. You know, there were hotel meetings and things of that nature, but that was the way the business worked. And then in 1992, the business changed, the environment changed. Let me just show you, before I go to that, I want to show you this video. This is 1980s Nu Skin, just so you can know.
I'd like to welcome you to the company that is becoming synonymous with all these things, along with providing a youthful-looking complexion. Welcome to Nu Skin International. Nu Skin is a phenomenon. It is one of the true opportunities of a lifetime. I hope you grasp it and take it to your full potential. And may I say, welcome aboard.
Now that goes way back. Some of you remember him from, was it The Incredible Hulk?
Yes.
Pretty famous. It was just that video transformed our business in the 1980s. People sent out thousands and thousands of these videos so that they could get in contact with people. That was the business. And then we evolved to the next phase, which was conference calls. Now we do conference calls today, they're web calls, webinars, and things of that nature, but then in those days, if you could get 100 people on a phone call, that was a miracle. I mean, literally, people would pay thousands of dollars to hold a conference call so that they could introduce the business and talk about the business. Now, some of you weren't even born when Nu Skin got started. Some of you don't know what life was like before the internet. Some of you don't know what life was like without a cell phone. I mean, people really did live without these things. But the great thing is that Nu Skin evolved. And then in 1996, I was asked to represent the company's technology initiative within the direct selling industry. And this was really as the internet was beginning to have an impact. In 1995, Coca-Cola produced their first webpage. Just to put it in perspective, this is how new the internet really is, because we would all say Coca-Cola is a huge consumer products company. Their first website to talk about the company was 1995. Nu Skin, our first webpage was 1996. And this is just an example of what the internet did. It was really our first endeavor into this whole new world of being able to communicate in a completely different way. And you can see that the company evolved. You look at where Nu Skin is today relative to the web. Now, one of the other ways I measure my progress, I always put my age in my passwords when I sign up for a new tool for the first time. I don't tell you the rest of the story, but just so you know, my age is in there. 16 years ago, let's see, it would be more than 16 years ago, excuse me. It would be 18 years ago, I signed up for AOL Messenger. Some of you remember what AOL Messenger was. That was really Facebook Messenger of today. And my password at the time was special, and then it had 41 in it. I was 41 years old. I'm going to be 59 in 2 months. But I know that in 2012, my world changed. Because my password on Facebook has 2012 in it. Because that's when I signed up on Facebook. And our world changed again. Literally, the way we communicated, the way our distributors communicated, the way the company's message was communicated, changed dramatically as a result of the Facebook revolution. And Nu Skin evolved. And here we are today, in a new world. The world's flat. You know what that means, right? That means that regardless of where you are in the world, you have the same capacity to be an entrepreneur as somebody who lives in a large metropolitan area. You can be in the most remote places of Colombia or Mexico or Latin America or in Africa or in Asia and participate on a level playing field because the world's changed. The world has changed. So all that's required today to participate in Nu Skin is a device. Now today we talk about the mobile device. There was an article in a London newspaper today, this morning, that said that the mobile phone has now replaced the PC computer in terms of our work devices. Today. So you need a device. Now today we talk about our iPhones or our Samsungs. Right? You need a connection. We need the internet. You hear about Facebook and Google and the initiatives that they're taking to provide high-speed access to the whole world, to remote places in Africa, so that everybody can participate on a level playing. And then you need a platform. Today it's Facebook. Who knows what it will be? Here's what's important. What's important is to understand this. The future, no one knows. I mean, no one in 1996 would have ever fathomed that we would be doing the business the way we're doing it today. No one knows what the future is going to be like. But if you look at the past as evidence of how a company will behave in the future and how Nu Skin has evolved, then you get this. Nu Skin will be wherever that place is. We will always be. So you look at our business today and you say it's pretty sophisticated. And what Nu Skin's working on, and you're going to hear more of that this afternoon, is how we can always make sure that we are ahead of where everybody else is. To make sure that the world is flat for everybody. That it doesn't matter where you live. That you can all participate in Nu Skin. Now, last week, I had one of these life-changing moments. So last week I went to Cancun, Mexico. That wasn't the life-changing part, even though that was fun. And I did get a little sun. After Cancun, I flew to Colombia. And this is, I came back and I told people, my life has changed. And I've said a few times to distributors. When I went to Malawi, my life was changed. When I went to Colombia, my life was changed. And it became clear to me this statement from Stephen Jobs, when he said, the only way to be satisfied in life is to do what you believe is a great work. And the only way to do a great work is to love what you do. And I can tell you, you need to understand that Nu Skin is doing great things. Great things. So I took this picture. I went to La Guajira, a region in Colombia where literally since 2014, 7,000 children below the age of 5 have perished from malnutrition. And I went there so that Nu Skin and our distributors from Colombia could begin the distribution of Vitameal to these children. And I saw this little girl hiding. It wasn't her mother. It was a friend, but she was an older girl, so she was hiding, and I just saw this beautiful girl, and I took out my iPhone, and I posted this picture on the internet, put it on Instagram so that the world could see the great things that Nu Skin's doing. Little girls like this, hundreds of little girls like this, thousands of little girls like this will be the beneficiaries of what you're doing. We will make a difference. When I came home, I want you to know that the greatest product we have isn't in a bottle. The greatest product we have isn't in a building. The greatest product we have as a company, as individuals, is changing lives. That's our greatest product. We change lives. That little girl's life will be different because the distributor and the company work together to make sure she has a highly nutritious meal every day for the rest of her life. Other little children will be alive because of your commitment. Because we recognize that this business is more than dollars in the bank account. This business is about how we make a life better, whether that's through a product or whether that's through introducing somebody to provide them a pathway to economic security and ultimately economic freedom. That's what Nu Skin's about. That's why when I come to work at 5:30 in the morning, I come because I absolutely love what we do. I believe that collectively we are involved in the greatest work of all mankind, making lives better. When I was talking to the director of this foundation, he was asking me, why do we do the things we do? And I said, well, I learned long ago from one of my close friends, Blake Roney, that we'll live our whole lives, and we're going to work for 40 years. And 95% of that time we're going to spend working, and nobody's going to remember what we did. And we're going to spend 5% of our time trying to make a difference in the world, and everybody's going to remember us for that. And I want us to be remembered for the 5%. I want Nu Skin to be known for the 5% of our time that we're going to spend changing humanity. And that's what makes me excited about the future. Sure, Nu Skin will always be at the leading edge, but we will never forget, ever forget, who we are. And it's not about dollars, it's about people. It's not about products, it's about people. When you hear all the talk today and tomorrow, what you need to come back to is the fact that this is a people business. We're in the business of people. That's why the future is so bright. So I have the opportunity at this time to introduce Emma Carpenter. As I said, I only met Emma through Facebook. In fact, today was the first day. She came up to my office for a second and then met for just a second. So just take a second to watch this video on him. Thank you.